Before we watch Tucker straight dismantle this idiot, Sir Cuckery, the most cuckiest of the cuck, I want to share with y'all something I found a little funny. Well, it's pretty fucking funny. So we all know about the whole Democratic push to overthrow the election for Donald Trump. Well, it didn't work out too well. What actually happened was that people were so tired of their shit that Hillary lost more electoral votes than Trump. And we get to laugh at them for the third time, the third try, the third, little grasp of hope is killed. But let's get to Tucker Carlson and watch him just go ahead and tear this guy up. He has no logical debate. His interpretation is only to advantage his own agenda of what he's reading out the Constitution. He's a freaking idiot. But let's watch it.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight we begin with a Fox News alert. Electoral college voting is underway. 538 electors gathered in their respective state capitals to cast their votes for president as per the Constitution. Just a short time ago, Donald Trump surpassed the needed 270 votes to secure the White House. It is now official. But even at this late hour, some are desperately trying to invalidate the results of November's election and find a way to elect someone other than Donald Trump. Daniel Brezhnev has been a leader in this effort. He is the founder of the official Electoral College petition to stop Donald Trump, and he helped organize today's protest. He joins us now. Daniel, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Tucker.
So here's the contradiction that I'm trying to figure out and have been for some time. You're against the Electoral College, and you make, I think, a pretty fair case that it's less democratic than straight up one man, one vote voting. And you've written a fair amount about that. And I don't agree with you, but I think it's a fair case. And now you're trying to use that very institution, the Electoral College, to take the election away from Trump. How does that work?
Well, first of all, the way you're framing it is not correct. We're not invalidating or taking away anything. The election was today. Today is when the electors voted for president. November 8th, we elected electors. So we're not trying to invalidate anything. The Constitution gives the electors the right to vote their conscience. The idea that because I don't think the Electoral College is a good system means somehow I'm not allowed to use it or participate in the constitutional system that we have is absurd. We can participate in the system we have while reforming it. That's part of how democracy works.
No, it's actually not absurd. And for this reason, you're against the Electoral College, at least you've said so when you've written about it, because it's not as democratic as a one-man, one-vote system, a pure democracy, which, again, I think is a fair point. You're now resorting to less democratic means, putting the decision in the hands of even fewer people. So over 100 million people voted in November's election. You say it wasn't democratic enough. And now you're saying that 37 people should make the decision.
That's right, to protect the Constitution from an unfit president. Correct.
Right, but it's less democratic, though. And I would think you would object
Tucker,
to that.
it's the system we have. This is the system that we have. So I have every right as a citizen to exercise my free speech and petition the electors to get the result that I think is better for our republic. And they're free to ignore me, which most of them apparently did.
Well, sure. But I mean, no one's contesting your right to do that, least of all me. I think you have a right to say whatever you want, of course. My question is why, because you say you're for a more democratic system, would you be pushing the system in a far less democratic direction?
Well, I don't agree. Look, democracy has a lot of different definitions. When you have a president-elect who has threatened to roll back free speech, the free press, freedom of religion, and has advocated for torture, preventing him from taking office is absolutely a defense of democracy.
Okay, so we have...
Furthermore, Tucker, the majority vote winner is not going to assume the White House. That's extremely undemocratic. To install Mrs. Clinton would have been more democratic.
Right. But as you said, under the system that we currently have, it's about the Electoral College. I was just saying,
it is, and that's why we're lobbying the electors.
Inconsistent with your last position.
It's not inconsistent at all, Tucker.
I want to put up on the screen your problems with Trump. You put out a video, it got a lot of views, explaining why electors ought to vote against him. And here, I think, are the key rationales. Here it is.
Speaking of unfit leaders, Donald Trump would be the first president ever in our nation's history who's never held public office. He wants Americans to register with the government based on religion, and he's promised to sue reporters who criticize him. That's a serious assault on our constitutional rights. Those are just some of the reasons that we're asking every elector to think very carefully about their vote this year. Vote their conscience, cast their ballots against Donald Trump.
So those are the three reasons you gave in this widely disseminated video, and I think that they're all wrong, interestingly. First, there have been 5 other presidents who weren't elected to anything before becoming president.
I didn't say elected, Tucker. I said never held public office. He has never held public office. There is no president who has never held public office. They have all held either elected, appointed,
I'm not sure it's a meaningful
military.
distinction, but let's get to the meaningful one.
Really? It's not a meaningful distinction? Wait a minute. You're telling me being Secretary of the Navy or Undersecretary of Commerce or Vice President or a general of all the forces in Europe, and you think those are no different from being a real estate mogul who makes casinos fail?
I'm not saying that. I'm merely saying that we've had a number of presidents. Hold on, we've had a number of presidents from outside the system. But
they've all held public office.
You go on to say
they've all held public office, Tucker.
Public
office.
Stop
lying to your viewers.
Well, I'm not lying to anybody.
I realize it's your MO, but it's not going to work on me. Every president has held public office.
Okay.
I don't know what's funny.
No, I got it. You're making a distinction between elected office and public office. You go on to say he wants Americans to register with the government based on religion.
Yes,
Can you cite a single instance where he's said that? No, where he's.
Yes,
you said, and I'm quoting, he wants Americans to register with the government based on religion. Now, I covered this, watched it really carefully. At no time has he said he wanted American citizens, American Muslims. When did he say that?
Well, I don't have a date for you, but I'll get back to you, but it's on video, and the whole nation saw it. Let's not pretend he didn't say it.
That Tucker, he wants American citizens to register based on religion.
Correct.
No,
and he was asked about it afterwards, and he said, yes, we have to look at a registry of Muslims. Yes, he did. And you know what, Tucker? I don't care if they're citizens or they just got off the boat. We don't register people based on religion in the United States of America, citizens or not. No one should register their religion.
Maybe
Tucker, do you
that's
think
the
people
meaningful distinction, but in your video you say he wants America. Hold on here. I'm assessing a claim that you made, and I asked you to back it up. I asked you to back it up, and you can't. You said there's a video out there where he said that. I don't know when or where it is, and in fact, there's not a video where he said that, actually.
Yes, there is.
And my only point is,
and I'll tell you what, I'll tell everybody right now
before you allege it.
Well, I'll tell everybody right now, if you go to Facebook/Electoral College Petition, we will post it in the next 24 hours so everyone can see that you're wrong.
Okay.
Or you're lying, one or the other.
If you post that, I will apologize. And the third point you make, and I'm quoting now, he's promised to sue reporters who criticize him. That's a serious assault on our constitutional rights.
Yes,
So I don't know if you're making the case that threatening to sue people you believe, and by the way, I'm not for suing reporters.
No, the president's threatening to sue reporters for criticizing him.
Hold on, but slow down. He was a candidate at the time. Is suing people for libel and assault.
He promised to do it as president, Tucker.
Fine.
He said, when I'm president, we're going to change the law.
That's fine.
We're going to change the law for the first time in 240 years and roll back free press. Are you in favor of that?
Well, he didn't say he was going to roll back the free press. My question is a simple one.
He certainly
did. You said suing people.
I'll post that tonight, too.
Okay. You have access to videos no one else has seen, which is impressive.
Gotcha, bitch!
Everybody saw him, and you saw him, too.
Yeah, I did. I must be lying.
You're very dishonest, Tucker. I hope all your viewers know how dishonest you are.
Let me ask you this. Since you're so concerned with freedom of the press, I wonder, and you've lived in this country for some time, if you notice that the current administration, the Obama administration, pulled the phone records of news organizations that it felt were hostile to them, including the phone records of individual reporters. And in one case, James Rosen, who works right down the hall from me, they pulled his parents' phone records. I don't remember you making any noise about that, perhaps because you were an Obama supporter. So how deep is your commitment to a free press?
Tucker, I'm a private citizen. I've never been on your station before. Maybe if you had called me up and asked me my opinion, I could have shared it. Okay, it's only the last few weeks that I have any national platform, so you wouldn't have known what I said about that. I oppose that sort of behavior. I don't care if a Democrat or Republican does it. I'm opposed to it. Is that clear enough?
Right. I don't know if it is. I mean, here's I guess my question.
Okay, so I say it again? I'm opposed to it.
Yeah.
How was that?
So let me just get this before we go, and we're almost out of time. If you can produce a video where Donald Trump, in any context at all, said, Americans, as you claim on your video that we just played for our audience, need to register on the basis of religion, I will be in awe, because I just want to say once more,
will you have me back on the show and apologize in person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can get that video with him saying that, you can come back on. And if you can't, I hope you'll apologize to the millions of people who you've misled. Will you?
Sure. Bring me back on, I'll apologize to you.
Well, you got access to Facebook. Yeah,
All right,
we'll have
I'll
you back
send you
on.
an email. Sure.
Good. I
Great.
appreciate it. Daniel, it's great
Thank
to see
you.
you. Good luck.
You too, Tucker.